Welcome back to our second show. I am your host, Elizabeth Hernandez, and today our show will be focusing on disabilities. Throughout this show, we will have several guests, and we will have a very special performance by one of our very own MSU professors. When we come back, we'll be talking to Shannon, and we'll be discussing student services and the Disability Center. Welcome. We have Shannon Colin here, and please tell us about the student services.
So I work with Disability Services, and we provide accommodations for students that register with Disability Service that need some type of accommodations depending on the disability that they have. It could be an intellectual disability, a learning disability, or a perceived disability or a visible disability.
Okay, and what role do you play into this?
I actually work with Evangeline Day, and she's the one that coordinates all of the disability services, but I actually provide the actual accommodations. I provide captioning services for students that are hearing impaired. I also do some accommodations of textbooks for students that need electronic copies of textbooks, and for students that are visually impaired, we have a set of equipment in our office that we can convert most text to a 3D visual form of just a handout for them, so it's tactile, so they can see it from feeling with their fingertips.
Okay, and talking about this, I heard of ableism. So what does that word mean?
Okay, so ableism means that you're giving preferential treatment to someone that does not have a disability or doesn't have a perceived disability. So ableism is prejudice against people that have disabilities, basically.
And why is it important for us not to use that term?
Well, because ableism is really not, it's a negative term because you're really focusing on people that don't have disabilities. So if someone has a disability, they want to be treated just the same as anybody else. And so ableism kind of takes them out of the picture when it comes to talking to them or providing them accommodations, a workplace, a housing accommodation, or whatever. Ableism really goes to the direction of the person that is not disabled.
And have there been any cases where students feel that way here?
Not that I'm aware of. We're able to accommodate pretty much every need that the students have on campus. Most of the students that register with Disability Services really are learning disabilities, and so that's accommodated mostly in the classroom, and our instructors and professors are really good about reaching out to us and asking, how do I accommodate this to make sure that the student has the same experience than any other student in class, because that's really what we strive to do, is make sure the students don't have a different experience, they have the same experience or have the ability to have the same experience as any other student in the class.
Okay, well, thank you very much. We will be back with Shannon, and stay tuned.
My name is Scotty Purnell. I've been here 9 years. We take the trash out of the buildings and put it in the garbage truck. In there, the chute is way up high on the wall where the trash comes out into the buggy. And you have to take a big iron hook, reach up and hook the trash, and it's falling down towards you. It's not a boring job. It's, you can get out and talk. We're always finding something very interesting. You never know what you're going to find in the trash. I like my job very much.
Welcome back. Shannon, let's continue with ableism.
Okay.
So why is there such a stigma?
Well, because most people, when you hear the word disabled, that means that they're less valued than any other person. And so ableism really gives the value to the person that doesn't have the disability. So it's really kind of a measure of value of how they kind of function in society as a whole. And so that's, for us, ableism is really not a good term. We prefer to really just let them have the same experience or a similar experience and not focus on the people that don't have disabilities. And that's what ableism does. It gives the preferential treatment to the person that doesn't have the disability.
Right. So what are some of the myths that people have due to this disability?
Right. So when you say that a person is disabled, they think that they need special accommodations. And they really don't. What we're really trying to do is level the playing field for them so they can have the very same experience that anyone else has. And people that are disabled want to live their life just like you and I do. They want to go to college, have a career, be successful, have a family, get married, travel, and do the same thing that everybody else does. They just may have to do it somewhat differently, or may have to find a way that suits their disability specific to them. But that doesn't mean that they can live any differently. They don't live a different life. They live the same life that you do. They just may do it in a different way.
Okay. So what are some ways students such as I could help and reach out towards them?
Okay, so if you have a friend or you know someone that you think may have a disability and that is struggling, just have a normal conversation with them and ask them, is there some way I can help you? Is there something I can provide for you that will help you function just the same as anybody else in the class does, anybody in the room does if you live on campus and your roommates? Is there something I can do to help you function here, in the room that you will have the same full experience that everybody else does? And they really would just prefer that you ask rather than assume that they need something special, because a lot of times they don't. They really just need your support and understanding. A lot of times that's really what they're asking for.
Okay. And do you all have meetings to discuss topics like this?
We actually have, it's called an ADA, American Disabilities Act Task Force on campus. And it's Evangeline, myself, as well as several professors. We have someone from facilities, someone from UPD, University Police Department, housing. And so we bring a lot of different pieces together and sit down once or twice a semester and really kind of talk about some barriers we can remove from for students so they can have that same experience that anybody else does. So we talk about it pretty, definitely.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
You're so welcome.
And when we come back, we'll be with Steve Chen, and he will tell us his incredible story of how he became a part of the Disability Act.
It never gets old, huh?
Nope.
It kind of makes you wanna...
Breaking the song?
Yup. I love the sunset.
I love Eagle Lake.
I love the forest. I love when eagles play.
I love the campus!
And all its sights and sounds.
Boom-diada, 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 boom-diada.
I love philosophy.
We love diversity. I love English.
And all its weird words.
I love the music.
And all its melodies. Boom-diada, boom-diada.
Boom diada, boom diada.
I love fraternities.
I love sororities.
I love to draw things.
And all the athletes.
I love Moorhead.
It's such a pretty place.
Boom-diada, 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 boom-diada.
Welcome back. We are here with Steve. So please tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a sports management faculty member on campus. My area has always been involving exercise and coaching, sports. So this is why I also have a very strong passion and dedication about trying to promote and encourage the mental health part of the individual, try to make everybody live more healthy.
So can you tell us a little bit about your personal experience and how you became a part of this?
I become campus advisor or get involved in the community organization called NAMI because I have this opportunity to engage with several faculty members, understand their difficulties, their challenges when their family, immediate family member like a son and daughter get through college years and it began to show the symptom of a mental illness, and throughout their life they try to help their children to recover from that illness, and this is just a very, very challenging and devastating process for them to get through. My wife used to be a social worker in Taiwan. When I was a little younger coaching basketball, I get a chance to travel with her in my country. So many times to travel with her to visit a lot of different patients and victims who suffer depressions or become paralytic due to their work. And the devastation of the earthquake had happened to my countries. A lot of people just experience all kind of mental illness problems after that nature disasters. So this is how I get involved and try to realize that there is something probably I could offer, try to share with those family members about, try to continue to advocate, try to continue to support, and try to provide any kind of things I could do to help them to get through the difficulty and challenges.
Oh, that's very nice. And how long has that been?
I have involved a local chapter of NAMI for like 4 years, but my help is always very limited. Every year they host an event called NAMI Mental Health Awareness Walk. Things I like to do, like engaging people to exercise, planning the event, those are the things I'm good at it. But in terms of actually help the family members when they need to have medical support, when they need to have a more professional help, understanding how to get their psychological, emotional thing to get through, is a lot harder for me to offer.
Thank you. We will be right back with more of NAMI after this commercial.
Yo, why are you looking at bags, bro? What you need is a chick magnet. You put me in the room and boom, chicks. That's what I'm talking about.
We are back with Steve. So what is NAMI?
NAMI stands for National Alliance for Mental Illness. The local chapter is one of the affiliated organizations is under the big umbrella as a national organization, and also the state of Kentucky. Recently, our campus has formed a new student club called NAMI on campus. It's also a different branches under the national organizations. And their goal is to try to recruit students, future professional students who will be willing to engage the topic, will promote health, be a good advocate for these issues, and supporting the people who are in need for mental health problems. A lot of these students are major in social work or nursing department or psychology students. This is why I try to mention the things I do is very, very basic about organizing the event, try to do fundraising for the club. The things they do is gradually build up for the future development for those people who need professional services. So I have a lot of great hope and admire their ability to do something great for the future.
And what is one quote that you would tell somebody with mental illness?
I guess there is always a ray of hope. Like at the end of the tunnel, you can see the light. Mental illness is something not like a regular cold or symptom that we sort of like snap out of it, that simple. But it's something, the fight that we will try to get through. You are not alone. We will always try to get through together. If we build it together, it's like wellness, not facing the individual illness.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And when we come back, we'll be talking with two students about disability and service dogs. And right now, we're going to go to our field reporter, Sylvia.
This is Sylvia. This week, Moorhead is hosting the National Suicide Prevention Week, and they're having a lot of events for it. So I will be attending some of them and talk to you guys about it.
Desolate are the flakes in the breeze. It makes me cry.
Hello, this is Sylvia, and today is Thursday of National Suicide Prevention Week. And I'm at the Fussy Duck enjoying Take a Stage for Hope and Mike Night.
Must I wonder why the cold brings out my worst emotion? I sing if I could, but the grass bears stops the words from now.
Hi, so can you introduce yourself?
I'm Alyssa Shiflett. I'm the president of NAMI on campus, and NAMI stands for National Alliance on Mental Health.
Okay, that's awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about the club?
Yes, our club is basically there to talk about mental illness and to bring awareness that it's just like any other illness. It's just like heart disease, that kind of thing, and for it to be treated as such.
What about National Suicide Prevention Week? Can you tell us a little bit about that, what's going on?
Yeah, it happens nationally this week, all over the country, and it's basically just talking about suicide, and we're trying to break the stigma away from it. We want to make it known that it's okay to talk about suicide, and a big fact that we tell people is when somebody is thinking about suicide, it's best to directly ask them, are you thinking about suicide? Because if you do that, then they feel like you care about their well-being, because they're not going to just come up and say that they are. Like, they want somebody to ask them. So that's like one of the biggest things we're trying to do.
Okay, that's really cool, actually. What about tonight? Like, what is it about? What's some cool stuff? How does it make you feel that we're having a night here in Moorhead?
Yes, this happens annually every year on Suicide Prevention Week. We have this as our ending event, and it's basically just like a relaxed night where people can come perform their talents. It's an outlet for them. If they write poetry about how they feel or songs, they can come perform it, and just to get the campus together, just one last night. Celebrating the end of Suicide Prevention Week.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
If I could, but the grass there stops the words from coming out. Why, oh why? So we are all students at the
Now joining us are two members of the Service Dog Association. Can you please introduce yourselves?
I'm Megan Roman.
I'm Megan Schwartz.
And what is the Service Dog Association?
The Service Dog Association is a group on campus that works with an organization out of Ohio called Four Paws. We work to socialize service dogs in training to get them used to a school environment that they'll be placed in once they graduate service dog school.
Okay, and what are the requirements for them to graduate?
They need to take a specialized test, so they test them for temperament, obedience, sense of smell, so if they can detect diabetes or a seizure coming on, and how well they do determines what they're going to do.
So who is she?
This
What
is
her-
Madge. She is, I guess, mine. I have two co-trainers, and those are my roommates. She is 7 months old, and we're just working with her.
And how did you get in touch with a service dog? So what got you to go ahead and get a service dog?
Well, I joined the Service Dog Association last semester, and I just talked with the president, and you have to be in the organization for a semester to become a babysitter, which means basically you can socialize the dog when the trainer's not able to. And then if after you're a babysitter for a semester, you can become a trainer.
And how easy has it been for you two to maybe bond and know, how does she know when something's wrong?
The bond we have with our dogs is it's almost immediate. The day
Yeah.
we got them, they just immediately, they're trained to be, loyal companions, to just be there to support you. So they're great dogs.
We don't really necessarily have anything like wrong happen to us necessarily. So like none of us have seizures or anything, so they can't know with us. But after a while, they'll in their advanced training, they'll go on to that.
Well, thank you. When we come back, we will be talking more about the Service Dog Association after this commercial. We are back. So what is the importance of the service dog for disabled people?
Once the service dogs are fully trained, they offer just a better lifestyle for people who do have disabilities. So someone who has a seizure may not be able to leave their house because they may not be able to know when they're gonna have a seizure. So the dog just really gives them more freedom to live a normal life.
Yeah, it's kind of like what Shannon was saying before, how they don't have the same opportunities as people without those disabilities, so they can become more independent with a service dog and still have like a companion constantly by their side.
And how can people get involved with the organization?
We have open meetings. We have our next meeting November 2nd at 6 p.m. in Raider 223. 223. And we have puppy playtime, so if you don't really want to join the organization, you just want to come and meet the dogs and see what we're about. We have puppy playtime November 7th at 7 p.m. in Raider 223.
Okay. And what kind of special effects or skills does the disability dog have?
So all of the dogs, they have basic skills, so they can sit and lay down. We're working on rollover with some of our dogs. And I know Megan's working on grab, so they can pick up things and like take them somewhere else and drop them.
Yeah, they can, it's just a basic sit, lay down, stay, I'm blanking.
We work on
paw.
turning on light switches, hitting handicapped button doors, so that just to really help people adjust to life.
Oh wow, that's really interesting. Well, thank you both for being here and taking the time, and thank you for introducing the service dogs. And when we come back, we will be with Natasha Davis, and she will do a special performance after the commercial. We are back with Natasha Davis. So you are a professor here at Moorhead?
Yes, I'm actually the Associate Professor of Dance here at Moorhead State University, and I am basically responsible for the dance minor program. I direct the MSU Dance Ensemble, teach all the dance classes here as a part of the Department of School of Music, Theater, and Dance. And I also choreograph for the gala that's in the spring, the President's Gala, and the Magical Feast that we have in the fall as well. So anything dance related that comes out of our School of Music, Theater, and Dance, I'm your woman.
And when did the dance minor come about?
Actually, it was kind of sort of in place. The structure of it was in place when I first got here, which was in fall of 2008. Been here a very long time. But I think a couple of things just needed tweaking from the last professor. So I went ahead and winded up writing the curriculum, getting it implemented. And so I would say officially since 2009 is when the dance minor program has been here in existence at Moorhead.
Okay, and you'll be doing a dance for us, and what is that about?
Yes, I'll do a little bit of a dance for you. I've got my drummer over here, Charles Burdett. He is actually the brother of one of my dancers, Danielle Burdett. And so I'm just going to do a little improvisation, maybe do some African a little bit with his drumming. I also want to do a quick plug because we do have a dance concert. Every year I hold auditions for the MSU Dance Ensemble, which gives students opportunities to come out and audition and dance and perform. And we do have a concert coming up in April of next year, April 20th through the 23rd-ish, I think, somewhere around there. And the dance concert is called Gravity Falls, a mini dance concert for the senses.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And this will conclude the show. Thank you so much for watching, and please enjoy the performance.